All right, so badass mail day today. I got some stuff from 𝗦𝗔, and why am I doing this? I'll just open it. So if any of you have been paying attention to this, like in the last, I don't know, 5 years, 6 years, maybe longer, what 𝗦𝗔 does is they make modular amplifiers, and this is actually a rack unit, but they make modular amplifiers in conjunction with the original amp creators. So they are like true to design sort of specs. It's not like a modeler or something like that that's simulating an amplifier. These are actually analog pieces of gear with tubes and circuits and cool stuff. So the first thing we have here is a rack. Wow, this is really nice. Got my module tube preamp structure manual. That's not the exciting stuff. Let's get this thing out of here. Truth be told, I just am opening this stuff up because like I've really been wanting to test it out. It's just been sitting in a box for like the last couple days and I just want to plug it in and chug with it. You know what I mean? So this is my first impressions of the 𝗦𝗔 stuff, I guess. So these are the bays where you insert the modules. And then on the back of the unit here, you actually have a tube. So you do have an actual legit 12AX7 tube in there. A lot different than a digital amp modeler or something like that, you know, where you're recreating the sound of a tube with digital gear. This is like legit tubes, circuits. On the back here, we have some cabinet simulation because there's a cab sim bypass. We have left and right XLR outputs. We have our main left and right quarter-inch outs. We have an effects loop. You can change the level on that, low to high. We have a dedicated amp send and return. We have an effects loop with a effects send and then a left and right return. That's interesting. And then we have our instrument input and we have an output to an amp and a ground lift switch. That's important too. So this is how I'm actually going to be testing the modules out. Let's check out what modules they sent me. When he was asking me what modules I wanted to check out, I just told them the metal stuff. Send me anything metal. Oh my gosh. Okay, cool. We got a bunch of stuff here. Okay, so the first thing we have here is an Engl Savage module. I can compare that to my actual Engl Savage amp in the future here. This is a sound that I know and I love, so I'm very interested to check out this module. Let's get that guy out. Okay, so this is pretty awesome here. You have your gain low high switch for each of these channels, it looks like. Your bass, middle, and your treble. Your contour switch, just like the actual amplifier. So all of these modules are 2-channel, I believe. Oh, and I think these just slide right in there. You just slide right in and then you screw them in like that. Easy peasy. That took me like 2 seconds to get that module in there. Okay, let's see what else they sent here. We have a Failusekilltake Deliverance. I have this amplifier also. Definitely another one we could check out and compare to the original amplifier. This is actually 2 channels and the original amp is like 1 channel. That's kind of cool. Each channel has its own bright switch, its own more less switch. Red mode, I don't know what red mode is. My amp doesn't have that. Treble, middle, bass, depth, presence. I'm very excited to check this one out. Let's see what else. Oh, PV6505. I don't have a I do actually. I have a 6505 Plus, but I actually have a 5150 block letter we could compare this one to. You have 2 channels, you have a green and red channel, and you can go lead or crunch on either one of those channels. It's pretty cool. Bass, middle, treble, volume, gain. And again, I feel like this is worth mentioning a bunch of times because I feel like it's a very important point, but these modules are all designed with the original amp designers. I mean, I don't know how much closer you get to the amp than going to the source itself, so be interesting to see how they turned out. 𝗦𝗏 Pitbull. This one, very excited about because the VHT or 𝗦𝗏 Pitbull is a very popular amplifier among metal enthusiasts. And with this one, just like on the amp, you have your high gain switch, you have your shift switch, you have treble, middle, presence, bass, you have your 5-band EQ here, and you can put it in output or red mode. The Bogner Uberschall. Holy balls, man. Okay, I think this one's gonna actually go in the module right now. Pre-EQ boost for both channels. All these modules are 2-channel, if I didn't mention that earlier. Bass, middle, treble. Very, very interesting module. I'm very excited to check this out. Let's just load this guy up in here. Okay, so I was actually playing through my Axe effects the other day, so I have my whole rig hooked up right here. I'm gonna plug this _𝗦𝗔 rack unit into my Seymour Duncan power stage and into this cabinet. Then we're gonna check out the 𝗦𝗔 module, so let's do it. All right, I think I have this hooked up correctly. I'm playing my Deviant Guitars Grimoire. This one has an EMG 81X in the bridge and an 85X in the neck. I'm plugged into the Savage module here. Sounds like my Engl Savage. We take the contour off. It sounds like an Engl Savage, dude. The distortion is really, really nice, too. And the distortion character, like the texture. I always refer to this as the texture, but it's like not grainy, it's not compressed, or like a lot of times with digital modelers, you know, you'll get this like different clipping sound. It's not good or bad, but it's just different. This is the green channel. Now, of course, on the actual amplifier, you have 4 separate channels with a lot of modes, switches and stuff between them. You know, there's definitely like a more consolidated version, but the character and the gain structure and everything is very true to the original amp. It very much reminds me of the Crunch channel on the Engl Savage. Let's go over here to the Bogner Uberschall. I've been dying to try this thing out. Something like that. I'm actually gonna turn my treble up quite a bit on my power amp down there because it is a little bit dark. We have our different pre-EQs here. The gain texture, I'm gonna keep calling it texture. The gain texture is quite a bit different on this. It's like smoother. But let's go to the red channel. I wanna hear what the red channel sounds like. Very good. I very much like the distortion texture on this. I think it's very like, it's very nice. It's like harmonically rich. Ooh, I like the pre-EQ at neutral. Let's put it on B2. I'm missing a little bit of low. I'm gonna turn the low end up on the power amp as well. There it is, man. It sounds really, really good, dude. Really good. I actually want to turn my power amp up here, and I'm going to turn the volume down on the SYN module. Dude, this thing brings the chugs, man. It sounds so good. And again, you know, with it being like tube, the character, just like the texture of the distortion is just a little bit different. Now, something like the Axe Effects does a really good job at recreating that, but you know, this is like a modular unit with tubes directly from the source, you know, partnered with the original amp manufacturers to create these things. So it just feels more authentic in a way, if that makes sense. And there's a couple really cool things about this system. Like, yes, you do need to buy, you know, one of these rack units or like one of their amp heads or the combo or something like that. But once you do, every one of these modules is $400, which is so much cheaper than the actual amp versions of these. So like if you own a studio or you're just a gear enthusiast and you want all these different tones on tap, you can get them and you don't have to amass a collection of amplifiers that takes up all of your space, like me. Now, I will do a full in-depth review once I get a little bit more familiarized with the system. We'll do some shootouts as well. You know, we'll do some stuff. I'll go deep for you. But for right now, I just wanted to plug in and check it out because, you know, like I said, that's what I'm doing, man. Let's just check out the Pitbull, man. It almost reminds me of like a Nintendo or something. If you're under 30, you probably didn't get that joke. Yeah, buddy. Very cool. Not as much gain as I thought there would be. And the gain texture's like a little bit more crunchy, like a little bit drier. I have the gain cranked all the way there, but the EQ is a very nice touch. Very cool, man. You can get a lot of low end out of this thing. It is a little bit tricky dialing in because it is so small, but. Oh, there we go. Damn, dude, this is really cool. I'm blown away by this. I'm blown away by how compact it is and how good it sounds. The Uberschall is my favorite so far. And on this module, we do have a sag knob over here. So if we want to increase like the compression from the tube. It's got a little light to let you know it's active. Yeah, that Uberschall module rips, dude. It sounds so good. The distortion sounds really great on it. All right, shout out to 𝗦𝗔 for sending me all of this stuff. Make sure you guys keep your eyes peeled. I will do a full review on this stuff very soon, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.